I know, right? Hi, Jennifer. Yes, it's very stressful. But yes, we learned a lot in the spring. So, and I'm still learning a lot. There's so much out there. Okay, it's almost 4:30. Okay, 4:30 officially. So I'm gonna get started. And then as people join, they will get the code. And so, hello everyone. My name is Clara Bauler. I teach at Adelphi University at the TESOL bilingual program. And one of the things that I love the most is technology. So before this pandemic, I was already teaching online for many years, and this pandemic just highlighted how much we need these tools. And I'm learning a lot, still learning a lot. There's so much newness to this, and I've always been passionate about asynchronous learning. So when the pandemic hit, there's so much emphasis on synchronous learning, but I think the power of online learning is really the asynchronous part of it. So when you go back to, hopefully, when you go back to teaching face to face, you will be able to bring the asynchronous with you, because these are things that students can do on their own pace. And that's the advantage of asynchronous, because especially for multilingual learners, because for example, I take some time to process things as a multilingual learner myself. And so the asynchronous gives me the opportunity to do it on my own time. So I'm going to start sharing with you. So Pandec functions in two ways. So let me start. So one way, I give you the link as a student. Oh, okay. So how do you say that students are looking forward to returning to campus? Hope so. Hope so. I think there's a lot of stress on parents and students, right? But hope so. Yes, keeping positive. Okay, so Pandec works in two ways when you share with students. So one is by giving students a link, and the other is by giving students a code. So I wanted to start my Pandec session from start, so that you could see, if you're not familiar with this tool, so that you could see how it's done. So I didn't create anything advanced, so that you could see the whole process of sharing. Um, so obviously I have already created my module, which is a Google slide presentation, as you can see here in the screen. And Pear Deck is an add-on to Google Slides or Microsoft Word. Okay, so Microsoft is the owner of Pear Deck and Flipgrid, so they integrate really well with Microsoft Teams, etc. But they integrate wonderfully with Google Docs as well. So I'm using Google Docs now. And so you have to install Pear Deck so that it becomes an add-on to your Google Slides. And in order for you to create these slides using Pear Deck, you have to open the deck. So then when you click on Pear Deck, I already clicked on it, you will have the deck here on the right while you create these slides. So you need this deck open to be able to create any slides, okay? So I'm gonna start the lesson. Go ahead, start the lesson. And I have used Pear Deck a lot for the synchronous kind of learning, where we are teaching via Zoom as right now, and then you'll share your slides with your students. But I am enjoying more and more creating these modules, which are student paced. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on student paced, okay? And then when I click on student paced, it's gonna launch the presentation, and it's gonna give me a link, and it's gonna give me a code to give you. So I'm gonna share with you this link and this code. Is everyone hearing me well? Just so that I have an idea. if everyone is good. So as an instructor, I get to get the deck view. Okay, so I get the teacher dashboard while the students have their own side of it. So there's a student side and an instructor side. So as you can see here, I can share the modules with you by copying this link. And I could also share directly into Google Classroom. So into Google Classroom, it's really fun because you can, in your Google Classroom, you're gonna click here and it will create an assignment. So you can create an assignment or you can create a material and it will become a link in your Google Classroom directly. So this is really good. So right now, I'm not gonna do Google Classroom. I'm gonna just copy the link and I'm gonna share it with you here in the chat box. So this way you are able to see this presentation in student mode, okay? Please, everyone, click on this link that I shared with you, and you will be able to see the slides, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and also click on the link because I'll have the student view the same as you have. So when you click on the link, you should be able to go to this, thank you everyone. So you should be able to go to this website. So you can say how you're feeling today, I'm feeling good. And then you will have access to the module. So I'm gonna give you like 1 minute to access this module. Please let me know if you are having trouble accessing it, but please everyone, I want everyone to be able to see both the module and what I'm sharing with you. So click on the link that I provided to you and you will be fine. And again, this link can be embedded into Google Classroom, into Moodle, whatever course management system you're using, or email, WhatsApp. Yes, Stephanie, yes, you can do that for sure. I'm gonna show you what you can see from both sides, but the cool thing is that all the work that the students do gets stored in Google Classroom as a Google folder. They create a Google folder automatically with all the student work, and you can provide feedback. It's amazing, it's an amazing tool. So yes, the answer is yes, Stephanie. Okay, so if everyone can see, so this is the student view, okay? So you are seeing the student view of Pandec. So when I share this link with you, with my students, today you are my students, that's what you see, okay? One thing I want to point out right away, on the right corner, bottom right corner of the module, you will see this icon here, and it's amazing. It's called Immersive Reader. So it reads the slide to you. Okay, so when you click on it as a student, it will read to you.
Designing engaging asynchronous student-paced modules with Pandec NYS TESOL webinar Clara Bauler August 17th, 2020.
So all these slides have this capability. So as the students are going through the slides, they are able to click on this Immersive Reader here button, and everything that is on the slide is read to them. Okay, so that's amazing, and I love it. So I'm gonna leave you to see the student side, and I'm gonna go back to the instructor side, which is my side, okay? And this is my side when it's student page, and I can see that there are 8 people there, okay? And 2 students are in slide 2. So see, this is my view of on the instructor side. So if you are joining right now, we are using Pandec, and to access the Pandec module, you have to click on this link. So I'm gonna share the link again in the chat. Okay, so let's continue with the class. So here, to answer Stephanie's questions, here is how I'm seeing everyone, who is doing what, so what. So you can do, this is not the class, this is students do it on their own pace, okay? So you as a student, you have, let's say, a week to do this, okay? And that's the beauty of this. So I wanna go back to how I constructed, okay, this module, so that you have an idea on how you can do it yourself. Okay, so that I have an idea, I am in slide 3. I want to know, are you familiar with Pandec? Have you used it before? So that I can have an idea. So can you just answer the questions in slide 3? And I'm gonna go to my my teacher view here. Okay, I have never used Pandec. Okay, 3. How about the others? I heard about it, but never used it. Yes. Okay. So this gives me an idea on how I can explain to you how to use it. So I want to tell you something really cool, is that Pandec can be used both for synchronous and asynchronous learning. When you are doing a Zoom or Google Meets class session, you can use Pandec too to make your slides interactive. Students can draw on the slides, students can do this a poll on the slides. It's really fun. But today I'm going to concentrate on the asynchronous part of it. But if you want to learn more about how to use it synchronously during a Google Meet session or Zoom session, I have also given a webinar on this, and it's in the Nice TESOL archives, okay? So check it out. And if you have any questions, you let me know. You can send me an email. Okay, so going back to how I created this. So once you sign up for Pandec, you have to go here to add on your Google Slides, or or add in if you're using Microsoft. So you go to add on, and then you are going to install Pandec here. Okay, so or get add-ons and install the Pandec. Today, I'm gonna give you a link to get access to Pandec Premium. So if you can see here, Pandec Premium can allow you to for students to draw on the slides and do draggables. I'm gonna show what these are. So once you have Pandec and you open this deck, you have you can do a lot of things with your slides. You can do a writing slide, you can do a choice slide, you can do a number slide, and a drawing slide. So when you click on this, you turn them into, so for example, I clicked on this one, on this slide that we are, slide 3, and I made it a multiple choice. Okay, so when you click on it and then you make a multiple choice, then it gives you what you can write, okay? And then you update slide. So the question Stephanie is asking is there a fee? Yeah, so Pandec is free for the basic version, and the premium version is paid. But with this link that I'm gonna give you, you can use it for 3 months, and then you can convince your school to pay for it, because it's really worth it. I don't think it's very expensive. I think it's about $100 a year per teacher. So it's something to discuss with your school, but it's worth it. Another thing that Pandec does also is the premium version is the template library. So a lot of these slides you find in the template line. So for example, this one is lesson builders, beginning of lesson, during lesson, end of lesson. So for example, if you want to do an icebreaker, you can do what are you thinking now? And then you can use this slide. So they have really cute slides, templates. They have critical thinking slides, social emotional slides. They have content slides, little ones. For example, these are cute. Like you have fill in the missing letter, circle the item. So you can use these slides and you can adapt to them. Okay, so a lot of these slides that I use are templates that I have adapted from Pandec itself. Okay, so continuing with this, so this is an example of how you can use Pandec, let's say in a synchronous lesson, and share what you read this summer, okay? And then they are going to write, right? So what you see here is different from what I see. what you see is this, right? A box for you to write on, okay? And all of these responses, again, will go into a Google Drive. And then you also have fun ones like social emotional ones, like this one, stress check. So where are you? Are you very stressed? Are you? So you can do these things in a synchronous lesson. And I put these there so that we could play with it now, but let's go to the synchronous module. Okay, so this is important information very quickly. If you want to get access to this recording later, you get access to, and then CTLE credits, you go to nicetesol.org. And then please don't forget to register for our conference in November. I'm chairing the conference this year. It's going to be amazing. So please register, okay? To remind. Okay, so let's go. Let's start with the module that I created. So I think that with multilingual learners, it's very important that they have time to complete the lesson, and they are not pressured for time, let's say in a synchronous lesson, in Zoom or Google Meets. So these modules, you can create with a week in view. So they have a week to complete them, and they have these interactive slides to play with. So I created a module on home, okay? And I'm gonna walk you through the process of how I created this module, and then you can, if you want to have this module or something similar, I can share with you, okay? All right, so this one thing that you can do with Pear Deck is add audio to the slide. So, so here I added an audio to it. So if you listen to it, I'm sure that you are listening on your own pace, then you will see that, let me go to the slide, sorry. You will see that it was something that, so the students will click here, right? And they will listen to a message that I provided to them.
Hello, everyone. This week, we are going to talk about the idea of home. What is home to you? What do you think when you hear the word home? I'm looking forward to talking about home with you. Home is such an important idea, so I really want to hear more about what you have to say. Olá a todos. En esta semana vamos a discutir la palabra casa, que en inglés es home. ¿Cuál es la diferencia entre casa y home? Quiero saber todo lo que piensan sobre la palabra casa y home.
Okay, so you get the idea. So then you can include these audios. So to do that, you click on the slide again. Okay, so click on it and you click on add audio, and then you can record any message. Okay, so you start here, record, and let me click on this one that does not have an audio, that one. So you click on audio, and you start recording, and then when you finish, you delete it. So you can do a test too. For example, now I'm doing a test, and let's say I don't like it. Then you click on pause and delete file, and you can start again, okay? So one very important thing is that once you finish recording, this is a test, you save it, but then you also have to click on add to slide, otherwise it's not gonna include the audio to the slide. So very important that you click on add audio to slide. I made that mistake once, and then I did a whole presentation with a lot of recordings, and I did hit add audio slide, and then everything was lost. Okay, so don't forget to add audio to slide, okay? Any questions about the audio? Okay, so I included the learning objectives and the language objectives here because this is for you, but I think for students, I wouldn't include those because I feel that it's too overwhelming for them if they are doing it on their own time to read these learning objectives. At the end, I have a self-assessment that is simplified for them to see if they accomplish the learning objectives or not, and it's a multiple choice slide. Okay, so it starts with what is home, and then this is a drawing slide, so students can draw on this, And you can draw on it. This is slide 11 so that you can play with it. So let me go here to my slide 11 and then I can show you what it looks like. So see, it has a palette and you can draw, you can include text. So it's really fun. And then if I go to my teacher dashboard, I can see if some of you have already drawn something, okay? And this again will get saved, okay, into the Google Drive folder, all of the drawings, everything. Yeah, so this is, I think it's a really good one for younger learners. And using visuals again with English language learners. So I started with visuals because I think that's a really good input from. Yes, yeah, very good, Stephanie. That's a great idea to add audio to the visual one. That definitely. So I think this question that Jennifer is asking is really interesting because they just included the Immersive Reader tool. So before I would record everything, I would read it because, you know, that it's better for our learners. But after they included the Immersive Reader, I don't do as much recording, only if needed. So that's really a good point. Okay. This is so then to build vocabulary. So this is a unit that is really meant to English language learners and multilingual learners. So starting really with low stakes, and then how do you translate home? This is a writing slide, okay, and then they can write on it. And then I put a link to Google Translate so they can click on it if they want. And then the next slide is a collaborative one. So I love collaboration, and I think that's one of the things that you might miss in asynchronous learning, that you're doing everything alone. So I didn't want my students to do that. So what I did is I included a link to a Nearpod Collaborate poster. And it could be a Padlet too, if you are familiar with Padlet. So when you click on this, you will be taken to this. And then this allows the students to post something really quick, like we would do with Post-its in class, okay? And then they can share with each other and they can like, okay? So let me know if you can, I have to update it, sorry everyone, so that you can access it. But so let me know if you can access it so you can post anything. And then, of course, with any technology, you have to teach the students how to use this, these posters, right? And then you have to also teach them how to use Pandec. With anything, you have to help them. Okay, it seems like it changed the code. So, no. Okay, so let me give you the code to the Nearpod Collaborate. Okay. So in thinking of that, in the next slide, I included a video that I did explaining how to use the Nearpod Collaborate. Okay, so this is a little bit more advanced because it involves not only the use of Pandec, but also the integration with other tools. So I want you to understand that I'm using now 3 tools, okay? So I'm using Pandec, Nearpod Collaborate, which is a poster kind of thing, and Screencastify to record the video. So if you feel overwhelmed, don't worry, just skip this. It's just integration of 3 different technologies. But then if the student click on this, they will be able to see not only this, but also see a video explaining how to use the Nearpod Collaborate, okay? So remember, they will be doing this at home, so they need as many instructors as possible.
Is to show you how to participate in Nearpod Collaborate. It's a kind of poster Everyone will share their ideas and we can see each other's ideas and we can like them. So I'm going to show you how I did my post here, and then you can do yours. So to share anything, you can write, for example, to me, home means the sea. Okay, that's gonna be my post, that's it. And then to include an image, you're going to click here on this image and you can search for an image. In my case, I looked for Praia do Rio de Janeiro. I did it in Portuguese because that's my language. So I clicked on search. They gave me some options. This beach here is exactly the same as the one I usually go. So I chose this one. Okay, click on save, and then it will be here on my post. And then to post, you just click here, post. Okay, and then you will have something like this. I'm gonna cancel this one because I already have mine. Okay, so I'm looking forward to see.
Okay, so again, when you create a video, it's a link, right? So you just embed the link to your podcast slide. So to do that, you click on this slide, you click on website, and then it will give you the option of embedding a link to your website here, okay? So the website becomes clickable and it goes to the link. Okay, so the next thing is I embedded another video about home. So this is a video where people are talking about home. I'm not gonna show you, but it's you can see it on your own pace. I'm not gonna close this presentation, so you can do it on your own time. But again, it's the idea of scaffolding, right? So what is home? So the students can watch this. Then the next one is a writing slide, and it's asking them to observe and listen to what words people use to describe their home. So start to get them to describing home and using that language to describe. Here is a draggable slide. So this is the draggable option. I used a template from the template library. They have a lot of draggable slides. So I used one, I think it was from social studies, one of those. And I just changed, I think I used this one or something similar. So you will find templates. You don't have to create these from scratch. And then I included this image here from the internet, and then students can drag, right, this the little dots to the words that they listened. So let's say I listened heaven, then I can drag the dot here, okay? And then on my side, I will see what words students are noticing when they drag. Here, okay? So I can see that you are all going to different directions, going to amazing, for example. So that's kind of neat to see. Okay, so next one. Then I started developing some language. Okay, so here, if home is a place, find it on Google Earth. So they will click on this and it will take them to Google Earth, and they can pinpoint. Let's say they live in Rio de Janeiro, where I live. They can try to find the city, and then they can pinpoint that city. And then I gave them some structures here. So if you need help using Google Earth, click here. So this is also a link slide, website slide. And then here's some scaffolds for them to write. That's a really good question, Farah, and that was something that I was, Farah is asking, is it possible for students to see each other's work? So no, and that was frustrating for me. It's not like Seesaw, right, where they can see each other's work. However, since this is a module, you can embed other tools that will, so that they will be able to see each other. So for example, one of them, the tools that I embedded was the poster, right? So that they can see each other's work, they can like it. And then the other one that you will see, I embedded a Flipgrid link so that they could talk with each other. But then it's nice that they have the time to work by themselves too, to build that language, to be able to share, especially if they are beginners entering and emerging. I think that having this time to just work by themselves. So for example, this slide here is a writing slide, and then they will see, so after they have pinpoints that their home on Google Earth, they can write here. So my home is brown and green, big, and my city has mountains, right? So they're able to practice a little bit before they share. So that was my idea. So I think that there are advantages to synchronous and asynchronous, but one thing that you can do is do this synchronously as well. Okay, so Pear that can be used when you are doing a Zoom lesson too, or Google Meet. So is Nearpod free? Nearpod is very similar to Pandec, and I think it's free. I'm not very sure. I think Pandec to me looks more fun. Just the layout and what they have, the templates, but I think it's free. Nearpod Collaborate is free, completely free. So these posters you're welcome. So these posters you can create these posters right away, like right on site. Right, let's say you're doing a Google Meet too, you can create one poster like that, and kids can do this post. It's really fun. They can like each other's posters. It's so cool. Okay, so I'm gonna get to slide 19 soon. Okay, so then so you get the point of this being scaffolded. So for example, this one, I did Google Images, right, for home. They can explore. So everything that you could scaffold in class before, but now you can't. So they do it on their own time. So these slides will help them build that language, that descriptive language, to be able to describe their home. Okay. And then if home is something that I cannot translate, how can I describe it in my first language? So although this slide has Immersive Reader and it can read to the students, I also included a slide with my own example. Okay, so you can do that. You can listen to it later. Benjamin. Sorry, my son is working here by myself. And then I included a brain break too with a cosmic yoga. So you can do this. And so this is a video. They can do a brain break. They can do the house pose, etc. So I just wanted to give you a flavor of things that you can build when we're creating these modules. Okay, so before I go to the sharing part, okay, so Stephanie, you were asking about slide 19, how you can create the split version. You mean on the student view, on your view, you were saying? Okay, so you don't have to do anything. This is Pandec. So the student view will be like this, automatically. Yeah, that's good. I hope you like it. Okay, so time to share. Now that they have built their language, right? They have created that robust vocabulary. We scaffolded with these modules, now, right? We are doing modules step by step. Then they are now able to share with their peers. Okay, so now they can share it in writing on slide 26 and also through speaking by going to Flipgrid. So this slide takes them to a Flipgrid discussion, which, you know, Flipgrid is speaking, is video. So they can share, they can comment to each other. So it's just another tool integration, okay? So it's Flipgrid used with Pandec. What I think is exciting about this is that, remember, this all is being done on the student's own pace. That's very important for multilingual learners, because sometimes even if you have something exciting like that in a Zoom meeting or Google Meets, they are not ready. But this one is when they are ready. They will have studied it, they will have gone through these slides, and then when they feel ready, they can share on Flipgrid. Get it? You are building that language and that confidence. So the Flipgrid, and just go very quickly just to show you how the Flipgrid what the Flipgrid looks like, and it's a one way you can integrate this with speaking. Okay, so this is, they can record their responses, they can, no, Flipgrid is not a built-in tool like Immersive Reader. So Flipgrid is another app that you can use as an educator. It's completely free, and it creates online discussions through video. So it's pretty fun. But one thing that is nice about Flipgrid is that it also has Immersive Reader. So again,
What is home to you?
It's gonna
1 in 90 seconds. Describe your home to your peers. You can describe home as a place, as a feeling, or both. Here is an example. To me, home is the sea. Home is blue and bright. Home is hot and sunny. Home is wonderful. Your turn. 2. When you finish, choose 3 peers to listen to. Post a comment to their homes by saying what you like about their homes. Asking a question. What would you like to know more about their homes? Comparing your feelings about your homes.
Okay, so that's pretty exciting about both Flipgrid and Pandec, that they have this immersive reader. And again, in Flipgrid, you can record a video too as a teacher, and you can model it, saying, let's say talking about your home. I can do that. But because of the immersive reader, I think that it's already doing this job for you. It's kind of fun, but it's nice for them to see you. So it's a way to connect. So again, with asynchronous, they are doing it on their own time, but at the same time, if they are participating in a discussion like that with video, they feel connected. Or if they are doing a poster, right, with Nearpod Collaborate, they are posting their ideas, they are liking each other ideas. So these are ways that you can still connect asynchronously. So you can have how do you say it, the best of both worlds with these tools. And then this is again a writing slide. So what would you like to add to your home after you have listened? So they do this again at their own time. So let's say they can do this on the course of 3, 4 days, even 5 days, because if they are entering and emerging. So you can give this to them on a Monday and have them completed by the next Monday. Okay, and it's pretty fun because you are doing one model that that lasts the whole week, and you will get all of this work by the students. And then at the end, I put a self-assessment here, which is a choice slide. Again, to make it a choice slide, you go here, right, and then you choose choice, and then you can do a multiple choice, and then they can say what learning objectives of the lesson they have accomplished on their own terms. Again, remember this is asynchronous, so that gives you data on how they are feeling about the lesson, and if they got it on their own terms, of course. So they can click here. So I can do all of the objectives, I can do most of the objectives, etc. So, and this final slide is for them to drag and say that if you liked the lesson or not. So this is the end of a very basic module, but I think for entering and emerging students is good. But if you have students at different levels, I also included additional activities, for example, and one of them is choose one of the stories below to read about home. So they can click and choose, and they have some in Spanish here. So I'm imagining like a Spanish speaking audience for my students. Then after they read, they can illustrate. So draw on the slide what home is for the main characters. And And then this one is for more advanced students to write on one paragraph about home. And what I did with this one is I linked it to a Google slide, Google Doc. So again, it's another tool integration. So you can see that I have integrated 3 tools, right? So Nearpod Collaborate is a poster, Flipgrid, which is an online discussion through video, and Google Doc. So let me just show you what it looks like on the student's end. Additional activity, they can click here, you can see, draw, and then this one they will click and be taken to a Google Doc for them to write a paragraph on what is home. Okay, so write one paragraph about your home. I put yeah, good point, Stephanie. What I would do here, and I included a recording in my the one that I use with my students. I told them to make a copy, and would include a mini video too of how to do that. So file, make a copy, and then they can have their own copy. But yes, you're right. So this just takes them to a template, right? A graphic organizer. So I would include either a video demonstrating to them how to make a copy, or both, right? A recorded slide on how to make a copy of, or a download too. Okay, is there anything you would like to know that you didn't ask during our class? Let me go and see if you. So then. They need to reshare it with me. Yeah. So that process, I think it can get a little complicated, but if you teach them, again, everything you have to teach. So I think what I would do is record a mini video like I did with the Nearpod Collaborate, and show them that. So how to make a copy, how to share with the teacher, that would be a 2-minute video. And then you can embed it in the module as well. So it will give you a little bit of, so it will take you a little bit of time to build this module, but once you do, it's so exciting. Do you know how user-friendly Pandec is on tablet, iPad? Yes, it's very user-friendly, Stephanie. I think it's made for tablets because it's very visual and clickable. So I think it's even better on touch screen. I think so, because it's made for that. It's made to be modern and fun. So I wanted to show you, let me present this one so that you can see it in full view. So these are the many strategies that were used in this model. So I tapped into prior knowledge. There was translanguaging because the students were using their home language as resource. There were cultural connections because it's about their homes. Sentence frames, vocabulary building, peer discussion through Nearpod and Flipgrid, lots of visuals, Immersive Reader, drawing, writing outline if they are using the Google Doc, graphic organizers for the vocabulary building, reflection, self-assessments, and movement. So you see how much I have included in all of this module. So I wanted you all to be excited about this because you can include so much in a module that can take a week for them to complete, and it's very well built for them to learn. And then you can schedule follow-up meetings via Google Meets or Zoom to go over their questions or give them feedback on their work. So then the time that you spend with them on Zoom or Google Meets is really well spent, right? It's a kind of flipped classroom. So Hauji, can Pandec work independently without accessing to Google? No, Pandec is an add-on. So Hauji is an add-on. So you can add it to Google Slides or you can add it to Microsoft Word. It doesn't work by itself. You're welcome. Here I'm giving you some resources. So they have Pear. So this week they are having a Pear fair with lots of webinars, and there are some really cute Pandec templates. Immersive Reader, how to use it, Pandec tutorial for beginners, best practices for teaching ELs, like a nice set of best practices that you can incorporate in your modules. And finally, click on the Pandec Premium Access, the last link right now, so that you can have access to your Pandec. So I want everyone here to click on this so that you can get access to Pandec Premium. And I'm gonna put it in the chat room as well. So if you assign it via Google Classroom, do students need to log in to Google at all, or can they just complete as they normally would and submit? So it depends. I think that if you put it a link to the, you're welcome, Colleen. If you put it as a link to Google Classroom, they would have to access it through Google Classroom, right? Because they would have to log into Google Classroom and then click on the link, let's say a material. But if you email everyone the link to the module, then they don't have to log into Google Classroom. Got it? So maybe you can do both. I think I would do both. You can also send the link via WhatsApp, for example. I think that we have to achieve, to try to reach students at all levels of technology, right? So, so if they're using their phones, you can send it to text message because it's a link. WhatsApp, whatever tool they feel more comfortable with. And then they could just click on the link and be taken to the module. That's very interesting, Stephanie. I have never tried using this, but I've heard that Pandec integrates really well with PowerPoint. So you don't have to convert it to Google Slides. Well, because also it creates a link, so you don't need to share your presentation anymore, if you know what I mean. So all of the students will have access to this, what you are having right now. The view that you have, this one, all students will have it. So I think that you don't have to make that conversion because it's a lot of work for you. So, but that's a good question. I've never tried doing that, but yeah. So I've heard that it's very well integrated with PowerPoint. Now, I think you have to use an online version. Sure. So the teacher dashboard looks like this, everyone. So you see what students are doing. So obviously 5 not responded. So you have here like the students that did not respond. That's pretty cool, right? And then all of the work gets stored again as a Google Drive folder. It creates a Google Drive folder. So if I go to my Google Drive, there will be a Pandec. They create it automatically. Okay, everyone. I don't create it. They create this folder here, Pandec, and then it's the takeaways. So you have to go to the takeaways, and it will be stored here according to how you label it. So here all the classes that I taught, okay, and then when you click on it, you get the student work. For example, this one. Just so that you can have an idea of what it looks like. Okay, so all the slides that the students can contribute, you get, and then with the students' responses. So that's what the teacher, what the teacher dashboard looks like. What else can I show you? Also, so here on the, please sign up for the premium, okay, so that you have all of these features. Because if you have only the basic feature, you don't have the drawing slide, for example, which I think is one of the most exciting ones. Yeah, so going back to asynchronous, my idea with this is that whatever you can do for students that's scaffolded and engaging, like these modules that they can do on their own pace and be provided with all of the scaffolds that they need, please do, because then when you meet with them, it will be a meaningful, you don't need to teach everything synchronously, get it? As long as they know how to use this technology. So what I would do in the beginning of the year is schedule a few synchronous meetings via Zoom or via Google Meets with parents, with students, and teach them how to use this technology. All the technology that you are using. And then once they know how to access. So for example, you let them know that you will be sharing this link with them via email or via WhatsApp. And you will also let them know about the Immersive Reader, for example, tool. So when you get this link, click here. So you teach them. So once they know how to use these tools, they can do a lot on their own pace. So as an English language learner, multilingual learner, it's very important that we do things on our own pace, that we don't feel pressured for time. And then when you meet with them again, you can have a discussion about their work. So how does Pandec compare with Nearpod? Nearpod and Pandec are very similar. So they are both of them are tools to make the slides more interactive. I don't use Nearpod very much. And the reason why is that I didn't find it visually exciting as Pandec. But I think that's a matter of style, okay? I like Pandec because they are fun. They provide these templates that are super fun. They have community building. They have celebrating students templates. So here, if you click on the templates, you will see they are very cute. So I really like these features of Pandec. So I chose, but they are very similar. Very, very similar. So if you go to the templates, and you can save them as Google Slides or a PowerPoint, and I saved some of these because they are so cute. So the Celebrating Students is my favorite one. And you can also access templates again here when you go to the template library, and you have all of these templates. So to be honest with you, everyone, I create most of mine are templates that I just adapt to my own needs or topic. So, so here, this one is really, really cute. Celebrating students. What's your favorite thing about Sarah? Did someone give an answer during this lesson that helped you? Who was it? So this is more for synchronous. Was a classmate kind or helpful to you this week? Who was it? What did they do? This is really cute. So I think that it helps build community. So they have a lot of really nice templates. They have templates for discussing hard topics. So this is an important one for us now, etc. So critical thinking, during lesson, beginning for little ones that you saw, social emotional ones. So yeah, they have a lot of resources. So we have about 8 more minutes. Does anyone have any other questions about Pandec or about the module itself, how it was built? Or other tools here, such as Flipgrid or Nearpod Collaborate. So this I used Screencastify, for example, to create a mini video. So if you have any other questions, just wanted to give you my contact information you have through this slide. So I saw that there was a question. Can we redeem the free trial coupon next month as opposed to right? Yes, yes, for sure. So that you have 3 months until at least the end of the semester, right? For sure. About how much time would it take to develop a set of slides like the one you present to us? Great question, Thomas. It took me about 3 hours to put together this presentation. With all the research that I did about home, you know, you have to look for nice videos and resources. And so I would say about 3 hours, but then this is a week worth of work. So I think it pays off, right? I think. But I think as you do them, I mean, sometimes you get too excited about something and you want it to look perfect, but I think most of us are like this way. But I think it will get going as you do them. But have fun. It's a really good tool, and I think your students will love it. Thank you, Hauji. Thank you so much. Yes. Sorry, I was reading the. So let me close. So you can close Pandec, and let me make it a little bit bigger so that I can still see the. Oops. No. I want to see the. Sorry, everyone. I did the wrong thing. Let me put my email in the chat box. That's easier. So if you have any questions, you can ask or use me as a soundboard. I love sharing ideas. Asynchronous learning is very powerful, everyone. So I hope that you feel energized here to create these models, because I think your students will love them. And you don't feel the pressure, and they don't feel the pressure of doing everything in 30 minutes, right? They can take their own time to do them, and that's very powerful. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I wish you the best of luck this year. Thank you, Clara. Thank you, Yumiko. Thank you. It was nice seeing you. Well, seeing your name, Yumiko. And Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for all the questions too, everyone. Yes, do you want me to share the resources? But of course, I can share the presentation itself, right? The Google Slides, yeah, so that you have both. I'm glad, Stephanie, that it was helpful. And click on the link of the basic tutorial, because then for you to create your own. I think that's the one I used to start creating mine too. Thank you, Thomas. Very helpful questions, everyone. This was fun. I hope that you feel energized to create your own. I will definitely share this presentation with you, okay? So you can adapt and you can use this this module with your students if this is good. Thank you, Sanju. Thank you. Is this a topic that you would do with your students? What's home? If so, you feel free to use my slides. I'd be happy to share them with you. Actually, let me do this now. I'm gonna share this these slides with you so that you are here in the chat box. Let me. And then I'll share by, I'll get your emails too. But if in the meantime, so that you have the link to the slides as well. You can make a copy of it and adapt. And if you make a copy of it and you have your Pandec again on, so remember to make your slides interactive, you have to have your Pandec deck open. So let's say you made a copy and you have my slides, you can adapt all of them and they will become Pandecarized, okay? They will be interactive, okay? You just have to have your deck open and share. So again, don't share the link to the Google presentation with your students, okay? You have to share the link You have to click start the lesson and share the link that Pandec gives you so that they have access to the module, okay? So the module is not the Google presentation. The module is a Pandec presentation, let's say, okay? So if you share the link to the Google presentation, it will be your presentation. So it will not be a module for them to complete it. It will be very confusing. So thank you everyone and good luck this year. Keep in touch if you have any questions, okay? You're welcome. You're welcome, Fakar. I'm happy that they are helpful. You too, Hoji. You have helped me a lot. So thanks. You're always helping me with the presentations too. So okay, I'm also Hoji's gonna be helping me share this presentation in our database too, everyone, if you want to watch it again for some tips. And I wish you a wonderful year. So I'm gonna end this presentation now. Keep in touch if you need any help. Bye, everyone.